Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chat and Craft with Lorraine. I'm Lorraine Tierney, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Warner, New Hampshire. And I love to make cards, share cards, and help other people make cards. Today is Thursday, November 7th, and we're going to be making a cute, interactive, fun fold card. And by the way, you can find me online at chatandcraftwithlorraine.com on most social media channels. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours, and I would love to help you make cards. Please be sure to say hi so I don't feel like I'm talking to myself. And I love to ask some questions and get some input as we're going along. So feel free to add some comments and let me know what you're thinking. Oh, I forgot to make my face bigger to start. Well, look at that. I'm all ready for this view then. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let me show you the card I posted. So this is the card that is an interactive card, and it opens and flips like that. Okay. So I think this one has papers from the Take a Bow pack of papers, and this die cut reindeer is from the Reindeer Fun papers. Tonight I'm going to use some different papers and some different decorations for it. Okay, so let's see. Hi, Melanie. So we're going to start with a piece of cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11. So I just cut the paper in half the long way. And we need 2 score lines on it. We need a score line at 5 1/2. And we need a score line at 2 3/4. And 2 3/4 is just half of 5 1/2. So it's like we scored it in half, and then we score that in half again. Hi, Lynn. So now I'm going to turn it so I can see the bumpy side of the score lines, and I'm going to fold that in half. And then I'm going to fold the next piece back to the left. So this is the same way you would make a Z fold card, because you kind of have the letter Z right there, but ours is going to be a little bit different. Now, keeping it folded, I'm going to put a piece of patterned paper on the front. And this piece is 2 1/2 by 4. And it will fit right there on the front with a nice little border around it. So that's what I'm going to do there. And if you're done with your Christmas cards already, which I am not even close, you can make this in a birthday card. I'm going to try it with the new hearts to make it in a Valentine card. I have lots of examples to show you when we're done. So this card is going to go like that. So if I take this one out again, you'll see that when it's opened up, you see that piece of patterned paper that we just put on the front. Hi, Joni. Lynn, the cardstock was 4 1/4 by 11. And I scored it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. Okay, so we have to do a partial die cut on this. Okay, it's not cut, the whole piece isn't cut out, but it's partially cut out. All right, so when this card goes like this, there's my patterned paper, there's my patterned paper, we're only going to cut out part of the die cut. I like to turn the whole thing and go that way. It just seems to be easier for me. So here's the card. Here it is closed, here it is open, and I just flip it over And now I'm going to center that die, and I'm actually going to get my ruler. If I can find it, I just had it. Oh, here it is. I'm actually going to get my ruler and really get this as close to halfway as I can. So it's about 3¼ So half of that would be 1½ and then ½ is 1/8. So what's 1½ plus 1/8 would be 1 5/8. Okay, so 1 5/8, and I'm going to put a little piece of tape to hold that at 1 5/8 because it's a little tricky to do the partial die cut, and I don't want this to move on me while we're doing it. So I'm going to clear a little room to put my stamp and cut and emboss machine next to me up here so that you can see me do the partial die cut. And you can see I don't like to change my plates till I've used them up completely. So this one is dark and scratched, but it works just fine. Okay, so this is the side of the die that we want to be cut, okay, because we want it to come out of that first piece. I don't want this side to be cut. So as long as there's no plate over this part of it, it's not going to cut it, okay? No pressure there, it won't cut it. And if you look at the edge of our plate, let's see if I do it this way, you can see it comes to a point. There's a beveled edge. So I'm going to line up that edge with the fold line right here. So the fold line and the edge. Whoops, not that way, because this is the side I want to cut. Okay, so you're only going to cut with the little edge of the paper. That's all. There's just a little piece of your cardstock under there. All right, so now I have to get it up here on my platform. Can you see that? And I'm going to scooch this under and have it only so that it comes to that score line. And I'm going just a hair to the left of the score line because of that beveled edge on the plate, because it won't, the beveled edge won't press down on the die. And now I'm going to run this through and then back. Okay, and if I did it right, you can clap. So now I'm going to flip it over. Okay, it was like this. I flipped it over, and there you go. It might come off like this, and you think, okay, now what do I do? Well, you open that up. Okay, and so when it turns, it flips. Let me get this out of the way. So now the fun part is decorating it. So by the way, this was the largest rounded rectangle that's in the Nested Essentials dies. Okay, that's what that was. So I also cut 2 white circles with the same Nested Essential die, same size, because I want to glue these right on to here. So I have to open it up so that it's the same size. You can't glue it on if it's closed. You have to open it up. I didn't get the die cut out, Sue. It was like this, and I just opened it up, okay? I just opened that up, or took the top part back. It's a partial die cut. And this will also get loaded up onto YouTube, and you'll be able to go back and start and stop the video as many times as you want. Okay, and then I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to put another white one on this side. I'm going to get that out of the way so I can see the edge and see where the glue goes. And both of these die cuts get glued down completely. Okay. I want to line that right up. Okay. So it's just like that. It was closed like this. We put our die cut on, but we only covered up this left-hand part, the outside part, and then that just pops. Whoops. Oh, I got my card folded the wrong way. Pops right through. There you go. You got to get that Z fold in there. Okay, let's just go ahead and put the inside on here too so I can get these pieces out of the way. I have a regular 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece right here. My cat, Fat Boy, is saying hello to you all. You know that his food dish is going to automatically dispense some food in 18 minutes, and he has a hard time waiting these last 18 minutes, so he talks to you while he's waiting. And then I have another piece of cardstock, and this one is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 because I want it to fit in here. So it's 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And these are both from the Reindeer Fun packs of paper. So what do we need on here? Well, of course, we need a reindeer. And I think I'm going to put him on a slightly smaller, the next nested essential rectangle, but we'll see. So I've die cut my reindeer with these 3 pieces. Okay, and we're going to pop these out and layer these up. I used early espresso for the antlers, and then I used a white piece that will show his ears and some of his face. It's the middle piece. Okay, that's going to come next, just like that. And then I did a crumb cake piece for what would be the fur of the deer that we would see. And that will go, whoops, on like that. So let's glue these together. You'll be able to see it a little better. You could use adhesive sheets on these, and that would be great, but you'd have to remember before you die cut, and I didn't. So we just layer these up. And now the crumb cake one. This is all from that same bundle. I should show you the stamp set and all the dies that go with this one. So this is the stamp set, Reindeer Fun, and it has sentiments, dies, jingle bells, a Christmas tree, and then lots of dies. This great greenery one that you may have seen a reindeer peeking out of, and Christmas lights and presents and reindeer. It's really quite fun. It's really nice. Whoops. So let's see how this fits on here, because of course I didn't. Okay, it fits. I don't need to worry about it not fitting. And I think we'll put a sentiment there. And then on the other side, oh, I also cut out the wreath. Sorry, I'm going to back up for a second. I did a die cut of a wreath, and I like this because it puts a little texture on that wreath too. Can you see that? It's really, really pretty, and it can fit around the deer if you want. So that's my first question for you. Do you like that little reindeer with the wreath around his neck, or do you like him without the wreath around his neck? You tell me that while I show you what I'm going to put on the inside. I think I'm going to use holly on the inside. And I cut my holly out of garden green because that's the color of the trees. And it even has some berries that can go with your holly. Okay, and I was going to put another sentiment there and leave that one for writing my message. Okay, so let's stamp a sentiment. If I was really thinking, I'd have stamped my sentiment before I glued that down. You know, I always say that. Lynn says with the wreath. Pam says with the wreath. Melanie says with the wreath. All right. So let's do an old olive sentiment because my card base is old olive. Lynn says she likes the wreath too. Okay. So I'm going to stamp Christmas is better together right there. There we go. And then I'll just glue my berries on. Be much easier if I used my take your pick tool. There we go. And then I can put some glue on the leaves, just a little. The leaves do have a little slice in them, so you don't want them to have too much glue and have it ooze out. So that will be the inside piece. And then let's build this one. So you like the little wreath for a pop of color. So I'm going to put a little dot of glue on the back of his head and glue the wreath down there. Because down here, there's those holes in the wreath, and I don't want it to ooze out. So you know all those half-inch strips of paper you get when you cut your inside sentiment pieces? I'm going to use one of those, and I'm going to stamp a Merry Christmas. I think I'll do this one in real red. That wreath is in real red. I've seen a lot of the red wreaths. Why? I don't know why I didn't make it in green though. Wreaths aren't usually red. The things I think about as I talk to myself here. Very interesting. All right, so there's Merry Christmas. And that's going to be too long to go on the front. So I'm going to cut my words apart. And we'll do Merry Christmas. I could cut that a little bit thinner, but we'll give it a try first and see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to put this on and I'm going to center it. Hi, Sherry. Thanks for joining us. And let's pop this up on a couple of dimensionals. I have some mini ones here that I can put on the back of his antlers, or his ears, I guess those are. I really love this little reindeer. He's so cute. So cute. I want to make sure his antlers aren't going to get caught in the card, opening and closing. You don't want anything to hang over on that side because it would get caught. So there's that, and I'm just going to try to trim a little bit off here. And then we can put on a Mary. Now that's hanging over, so I have to make sure that's not going to get in the way of anything. I think it will be okay. Merry Christmas. What's going to happen when it goes this way? Well, it won't. Oh, my Mary got, there we go. Merry Christmas. I'm going to put it on with a glue dot to start with, because if I need to remove it with a glue dot, I can probably do that, and I won't press it on too hard. I have a piece of something. Okay. I'm just going to put that on just a little. So, Merry Christmas. So you see it's going to hold it right there. Hi, Lorraine. It's not going to go through all the way, but that's okay. I think that will be all right. So I'll glue that down. Lorraine, what time is it in Australia? Oh, it's morning. Yes, it's morning, because this is like our Zoom class. That's right. Okay. So you're not up all night. Okay, and I'm just putting glue on the part that's overhanging, or that's on the die cut. I don't want any glue over here. I don't want to glue my card shut. You can always catch the beginning, Lorraine. No worries. Okay. And let's see, I grabbed, and they're hidden under here now, I grabbed some of these red dots. I wondered if I could give Rudolph, or give the reindeer, a red nose and call him Rudolph. Can you see his red nose? There it is. You can see the shine there. So it does have a bit of a red nose. And maybe we'll put some of these clear ones on. I'm going to put one over there and one over here and one over there. And they kind of take on a little bit of a green hue, being on the green. So there is our card that we made tonight. A partial die cut. I think I called it a flip-flop card because it flip-flops. Let me show you some of the other ones that I made. So here's the one I showed you earlier. Here's another one, and this Santa is from the Sweetest Star set, and I would not recommend using the deckled rectangles. It's very hard to line up your die cuts with the deckled rectangles, because this is the opposite side. This is the back side of your front piece, but this is the front side. So I went with a smaller size on those because it was so hard to get those centered right. So I used the Santa on the front and Mrs. Claus on the inside. And then I did one with the greenery, gold and greenery paper, and I fussy cut these items out of the paper because I did not buy the dies. And the tree is from the decorative trees bundle, and it says a very Merry Christmas. So I did that one, and then I did one that's not a Christmas card at all. This is just for you, and this is with the To Market paper, and this is a birthday card. It's really kind of fun. So I hope you like those, and I hope you'll give it a try. You really have to play with it probably just once with this front flip, but you'll only have to do it once. Like maybe use a piece of cardstock you don't really like, or a retired piece of cardstock for the first one that you do. But after that, I think you'll get it down just right, and you can always go back and replay this video either on YouTube, or like I said, it will be on Facebook too. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you have a great Thursday evening. I hope your November is going well, and I will be back again on Monday with another live, and who knows what, because I won't know till Monday afternoon. Okay? Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.